There you go. The cum face, basically. I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes. I'm daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here.
It just says daddy. Yeah.
Did that hurt? Daddy.
Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I don't exactly know how long this video is going to be, but there's going to be a lot to say. Now, first off, I want to clarify that I'm grabbing these videos off of a podcast. It's supposed to be called Whatever. I want to specify this really quick. I know that I'm making a video on this OnlyFans girl, but I believe that the podcast itself, and I'm assuming this guy is the host, appeal to a very specific audience, especially making titles like Based Virgin Mary calls out Try Hard OnlyFans girl. When you have titles like that, it's pretty obvious what your demographic is going to end up as. So I'm not really backing this podcast. I'm only using these clips in these videos because a clip popped up on my Twitter feed and it was from this podcast. Anyways, I kind of just want to go over what she says and just kind of the podcast in general, but let's hop into it.
So what is your current relationship status? Are you single? Do you have a friends with benefits? Are you in the talking stage? Do you have a situationship, relationship, fiance, marriage? Go ahead.
So I'm actually super single right now. I've been single for like 10 months. Very, very happy with my current life situation, and I'm really not looking for anybody.
And she does this a lot throughout the podcast, is constantly saying, I'm so happy. I'm such a happy person. I'm so happy with my life. She does this constantly and just feels the need to she even interjects in her own comments just to specify that she's happy. And the more she says this, the less I believe it. She honestly could be telling the truth and just be really content with her life, but I just find it really strange that she constantly has to say that.
I'm so not normal. I need someone to equalize me. If they're crazy
Balancing.
and I'm crazy, it just doesn't work. So, yeah.
How are you crazy?
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes.
Like you want to what?
I'm daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here. Okay, so you're daddy.
I'm daddy. I girls with on. This is what makes me more dominant. I would a guy, but they're too scared.
The funniest shit about this entire clip is looking around the room and seeing how everybody reacts to her just expressing for absolutely no reason that she fucks dudes with strap-ons. I understand that the whole point of this podcast is a whole dating thing and that they most likely brought her on there because she does OnlyFans. And I get the whole putting on the persona and putting on cat ears, but at a certain point it just passes grifting and becomes insufferable.
For myself, when I get drunk, it's
Okay. So you said you're crazy.
Okay, and more of a controlled crazy. So I feel very fiery and spicy, and I really just want to live my life and be very, very happy. But I'll do whatever the I want.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to put where do you fall in terms of craziness?
Crazy. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's more of a controlled crazy. So I feel like I'm probably a 7, 8.
On the
definitely
1 to 10
not
scale.
uncapped yet.
Okay.
Now, really quick, this is kind of what I mean by you can see what kind of audience this podcast has when they have people paying literal money to say shit like this. Your podcast is akin to embracing a colostomy bag, replete with distasteful content. You're leading astray those who seek knowledge and truth in a world already clouded by deception. What are you, a fucking transformer? Who talks genuinely who talks like this? This definitely isn't the only comment that's like this either. There's a lot of them. There was even a comment later in the podcast where they're talking about this older woman in the red shirt, and they told her to end her own life because she's an older woman. So when I say that I don't back this podcast, I fucking mean that. There's probably only a couple people at this entire table talking that don't have annoying and attention-seeking personalities. I just wanted to point this one out because after looking at some of these comments, especially the ones that were popping up on live, made me realize that this podcast in general is just a massive shithole. Also, the dude that runs it is kind of a fucking weirdo. Anyways, I'm not done ruining y'all's days, so we're gonna keep watching.
A regular.
Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean that you don't date, for example, other content creators, other people?
I did once, and it really ended very badly because of the content we were creating and how it interfered in our relationship personally and I could pull out a camera any time and film, and it doesn't like affect my relationship status with you or anything. Like I don't feel like it's interrupting.
Babe, I know I'm taking pictures of my butthole and posting it online, but I don't think it affects our relationship. It's pretty obvious he starts coming off as like extremely egotistical. Also, like, not to mention her phone case is a picture of her own face. And like I said, at a certain point, it just passes that line of grifting.
And when you say you're dominant, do you mean, what are we talking here?
She's alpha.
I am.
Alpha female.
She's an alpha female.
I feel like my masculine energy is higher than most men's masculine energy, and I'm so like competitive. So if I have a partner who's even an alpha male, I'm competing against you in every way. Like I need to make more money than you. And I need to learn more than you. I need to travel more. It's like I can't just be a team sometimes. I need to be like the best.
Like, how do you not have any self-awareness when it comes down? Like, when you boil it down in why your past relationships have failed, I don't think it's because of the reasons she specified. When you start telling everybody that you feel like you have to be better than everybody that you meet or in a relationship with, I can see why a relationship wouldn't work in the first place.
Absolutely.
Even though you consider yourself perhaps leaning a bit more dominant or masculine, you don't want a feminine guy.
I can't date a female, and no, I don't want a more feminine guy.
Okay.
It's like, okay, that's cute, but like if you start crying in front of me, I'm just gonna like laugh. I really will. Like that's like really weird for me.
Okay, so you need have you thought about dating an MMA fighter maybe? Or
No, listen, because I'd wrestle them all the time.
you wrestle them?
I would grapple all day long. Like I would wear them out.
Yeah, I'm so sure that you would wear out a professional MMA fighter who trains every fucking day. Confidence is a great thing, but delusion is much different.
Like again,
Talking like
I'm
jujitsu
competitive.
or?
Oh, anything. Like jujitsu's not on the ground really most of the time, I don't feel like, or more like karate, but like anything. Like even in bed, I would literally you until you were doubting your sexuality. Like I feel like my ex literally went gay because of it.
This is the shit I mean about Insufferable. Like, she has to every given moment or any chance she gets, she'll just completely change the topic so she can talk about how she got like bukkakied by a football team. It's not even remotely related to the question that she was asked. It's just constantly, oh yeah, I can do this to someone. I'm capable of doing this. And followed up by some really outlandish shit.
I had this guy that I was seeing, just not even seeing, it was like we started talking for like 3 weeks. He hit me up at like 3 a.m. when I was in Miami, and he was like, hey, I just Googled you and saw that you did, I don't want this. That was a regular person. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tried, I tried. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically. So like
You turned a guy.
I told you it was my ex. Like I f***ed him until he became something. I swear to God.
When you say you effed him, like you mentioned before, were you him or more
No,
like,
he wouldn't let me.
This is the shit. This is what I don't understand. So she's saying that she fucked a dude until she turned him gay, and then specifies that she didn't even use a strap on it. I guess it was just like regular sex. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what she's saying, which still doesn't make any sense. So that leaves me with two conclusions. One, he was already gay, or two, this is the biggest fucking lie I've ever heard.
Like you'll never want to cheat on me. You'll be drained. Like there's nothing left in you to cheat. But I will cheat because I'm bored.
Wait,
Wow, that just got deep.
Yep, guys, that's a real knee slapper. Cheating on your significant other, that's comedy gold right there. I think this is where her little persona kind of starts falling apart, because she keeps talking about it and not only makes herself look worse in the process, but she starts to backtrack.
So I was on another podcast, and this clip went viral of me saying that I love cheating. It's actually my biggest fantasy. Okay, so listen, cheating, it's not that difficult. You're with someone or they're with someone. I don't even have to be with someone, but if you're with someone and you have a girl, I'm gonna sit on your and be like, isn't my tighter? Isn't it better? You can rail their brains out with one person. But I love to cheat, so it's not like.
Yep. She loves to cheat. Hello? To what degree is this an act?
Okay, well, when I go to sleep, I don't have my fucking ears on.
I could be wrong, but I'm not sure
I understand
believe.
It's hard to understand someone like me sitting in front of you, but
it's very
it's
hard.
real.
I don't think I've ever heard someone articulate that they love to cheat. Most people would not openly admit to such a thing.
I'm single. What am I hiding from? I don't have parents that are gonna be like, you're grounded. I can say whatever the fuck I want, can I not?
Like, I love how she gets so fucking defensive here. It's like, why would you admit to doing something that, you know, makes you very clearly a very distrustful person and someone who would not be in a relationship with? And she's like, fuck you, I can say what I want. It's like, nobody said you couldn't. It's just more of a, why would you admit that? Why would you admit you're a piece of shit? Also, keep this girl in the striped shirt in mind. It's like she came to this podcast just to win Dick Rider of the Year. Anytime Nala has like a horrible fucking take on something, she feels the need to interject in the conversation and immediately defend her. But it's not only that, she also just throws shade about anyone else disagreeing with her and has like just such a negative fucking attitude the entire podcast.
But I almost wonder if you're just, it's like, I mean, that's such an
Just sounds like bait.
astonishing thing to say, like almost intentionally.
Have you ever
Bait.
cheated?
But why would that be bait? Why would somebody go,
I
like,
don't
why
think
would
she
people
would lie
be
to the
drawn
public
towards
about
that?
like,
I mean, it's a
No,
bait.
look,
because
she
it's
could be
drawn
telling
towards
you.
that.
You could be
I have a
totally.
lot of
Some
other
women aren't
sexual
deceitful
fantasies
like
if you'd like
that.
to hear them.
meaning you haven't actually cheated. Or
She
it's not a
has.
fantasy, it's just something
She
you
gave
do.
an example.
So it's just,
Is that a
it's something that
question?
you actually do?
Yes.
Like,
It
Rage
seems like rage
bait.
bait. That's what I'm
Like,
calling
I'm
it.
not sure
yeah.
what that is.
well, just
Just, like, trying to make
you're
people
just like
angry.
saying something kind of controversial,
Oh
which
no, I
actually
don't want to
isn't
make
true.
anyone angry. I just feel like it's my sexual fantasy, and that's all it comes up to. And you guys are making it bigger than it is.
But you're saying that you do it in real
Yeah.
life, so it's not really
I-
just a fantasy, is it? You actually
but it's
cheat
a
on people.
sexual
She said it's a fetish.
fantasy. Like
You can take 10 seconds to look at the definition online, and just so people don't think I'm talking out of my ass by literal definition, the faculty or activity of imagining things, especially things that are impossible or improbable. So when you think of fantasy, you think of, I don't know, winning the lottery, or Lord of the Rings, or Jeffrey Epstein actually killing himself. So her trying to boil down cheating to being just a fantasy, in fact, all three of these girls try to boil it down to that, despite her acknowledging that she even has cheated, is so fucking asinine because it contradicts what she's saying. It's not a fantasy if you're actually doing it.
you have you're a virgin. Never mind. But like when you feel like
Or you're just bad at explaining yourself.
I'm really not. I feel like I've explained myself very
I think
clearly.
she was standing.
You've been in
Yeah, she was
exclusive
pretty
relationships where you lie to the person.
How is it lying?
And
It's just
you
having
cheat on
sex
them.
with someone else and then I break up with them. They don't ever find out.
That's
Okay.
cheating.
That's-
That's cheating.
that's-
I didn't say it wasn't cheating. She said I've lied about it. I said I didn't lie. It's not like they
But-
asked me, "Are you
but
cheating?" And I said
involves
no.
lying.
That's called
But-
lying.
Cheating is something that can really substantially hurt somebody.
Oh, of
so,
course it can.
But so why your openness with admitting it is a bit, I'm trying to understand it.
Oh, I feel like
I'm not trying to
openness
judge you, I'm
and
just trying to
I feel
understand
like
it.
telling the truth and being open and honest is like the biggest step to having happiness in your life. And I'm all about being happy and joyful and open and honest.
But
I'm not married to any of these fuckers. They were boyfriends, very temporary boyfriends that I got bored with because
So-
they were not
but-
supplying my sexual needs.
Well, why didn't you just break up with them then?
That's easy, but again, it's a fantasy. It wouldn't be a fantasy if I broke up with them.
Well,
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fantasy if you're actually doing it either. Also, like, what is this, like, shithead logic? You know, before you get married, you're gonna be dating someone and they're just gonna be a boyfriend. Like, marriage is a piece of paper. It's up to you and your significant other to dictate what your relationship is worth.
well, if
so
it
it's
was,
fantasy
but,
to betray them.
Betrayal.
but I mean, just because,
deep.
yes,
Not that deep. It's just sex.
Yeah, guys, giving somebody permanent trust issues for the rest of their lives, no matter what relationship they get in, it's just sex. It's not that deep. At a certain point, no, I don't really believe that you're single because you want to be. This is what I mean by backtracking. She consistently tried to argue with Mary, who's the blonde chick in the black, that her cheating is not that deep. It's like it's just sex, right? That's all it is, just sex. And then they present her with, you know, the fact that cheating is a bad thing and it makes you a piece of shit. And then she starts arguing and saying, "Well, I never said it wasn't a bad thing. I know what I'm doing is bad." And if you knew that, why would you try and argue that it's just sex? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
but okay, let me ask you a
kinda that
question.
But you just
Actually.
admitted that sex is soul ties, and
I
it's
did
actually
just say
important.
that, and then I
So
also said that I'm not looking for that.
you keep
I
like
wouldn't
going
accept
back and
it.
forth with what you're saying
Yeah.
about though.
You're saying that your cheating is justified because it's
I
a sexual
definitely don't
fantasy.
think it's justified. I don't think what I'm doing is right. I never said I'm doing what I think is right. I said it's a sexual fantasy. I get
Which you
off.
act, but-
to fucking someone who has a girlfriend or me having a boyfriend. It's actually rarely me having a boyfriend and me cheating on them because I don't want to hurt people. I don't go out of my way
But you've
to
done
hurt
it.
people. Of course I have. That's how I ended
But
my
that's
engagement.
you going out of your way to hurt people. So you do this.
Yeah,
Going out of my way to have a
You're hurting
orgasm.
the girl if you're having sex with. You're hurting the
wasn't
girl if you're sleeping with a guy who has
It's just their fetish.
girlfriend.
Whatever.
Bro,
Really just a
hold
fetish.
on.
I don't
How
know why you're
can-
taking this to like arsenal.
But hold on.
It's a fetish. Like, what? They're not always
Men want
great.
thoughts
Like,
for sex only, while coveting virginal women to be potential mothers of our legacy. Their past 100%
Yes, you go, Queens.
matters, along with youth,
Virginal-
loyalty,
you virginal
beauty,
women.
etc. Wise men use social
drive
media to
$5
disqualify
on the
single servers.
And notice how everybody else is quiet and she just keeps fucking talking. And to address these 6 stupid ass comments that it's just a fetish, people don't really like seem to actually use their head when they think about this. There is nothing wrong with having a fetish. Because I understand some people can't really control what they're into. But acting on that fetish is a completely different story. And they're still trying to excuse that by boiling it down to saying it's just a fetish when she's the one acting on it. Now, despite Nala being incredibly insufferable, this bitch right here is so much worse. It's like the only reason she was in that show was to be Nala's hype man and throw shade at Mary for no fucking reason whatsoever. But she ended up getting kicked out, so who gives a fuck?
Back and forth on
I
this.
wanted to say maybe she is a person. She acts. She has a, but it might be part of her personality to.
I mean, if your
Sure.
personality is just an amalgamation of like porn you've watched or some like.
Actually, it just comes from my happiness. Like I'm so bubbly and happy, and I have so much
But I'm saying,
ambition.
like,
Many people,
does.
I feel like I come off
She knows,
so
she just diagnosed
intimidating
her,
because
you know?
of
She just,
I'm
everything.
just happy, and so many people don't understand that that's just no. This
From
is
my-
what no. I disagree.
you
This
mean?
is what
Who do you
men
think
don't
pays
want.
for-
I wish I could tell you how many men don't approach me. Like this is not what men want.
literally
Men
said
don't
she's
want
not looking for a
independent.
relationship.
Men want.
She literally said
dependent.
she's not
Men
looking for
want
a
to feel like
relationship.
they can take care of.
And you're
I
like, this is
believe.
It was like she almost hit the brink of self-awareness and then followed up with the most retarded shit possible and completely ruined it. Like, yeah, guys, men don't want me because I have a hypersexualized personality and openly admit to fetishizing and actually cheating on people. No, men don't want me because I'm an independent woman. It's so stupid because even now I'm almost certain that men would love to find a woman who can financially take care of themselves. It just makes things significantly easier and it kind of proves that there's a responsibility there. It's like, no, men don't want you because you've been run through and have pictures of your butthole online. Honestly, that's about all I got. The whole podcast was like 4 hours long and there's no fucking way I'm gonna cover that much. Especially since it was just littered with really awkward and long silences followed up with everyone just yelling at each other seconds later. Anyways, that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed, thank you for watching and come back for the next.